Our next presentation is a very recent listing, New Jaisa Technologies Limited.
So I'm founder and CEO of New Jaisa Technologies. As you mentioned, I mean, we are pretty much fresh out of the oven. We just got listed on 5th of October. Thanks everyone for coming. I know it's been a long day for you guys. I'll try to keep it short and sweet and probably look forward to some Q&A there. Oh. I hope it's better now. Okay, yeah. As I said, our name is New Jaisa Technologies. We're a pretty young company. Started in 2020. Sorry. We are in business. So what we basically do is we are in business of refurbished electronics. Largely, we focus on IT assets. That's laptops, desktops, and all the accessories associated with the same. We basically call ourselves tech-driven, like full-stack tech-driven, direct-to-customer company, right? Largely because we are online-first company. So that's what our key focus is. In terms of product areas, as I said, right? I mean, we are focused on the IT asset sides. Sales channel, as I said, most of the sales channels are online first. We were one of the first pioneers in terms of doing a strategic partnerships with Amazon, Flipkart, and now we have our own website through which we are driving a lot of sales in terms of refurbished IT assets as such. And past 3 years, I would say that we have seen in terms of demand, we have seen it across all the customer segments, be it like students, corporates, SMEs, and that's like across the segment we see large number of demand coming from these segments. So just moving on. Yeah, so last 3 years, I mean, it's been a pretty exhilarating journey for us. We were basically COVID babies, right? So we started this business when COVID hit the country, and that's when like me and my co-founder thought about this and like started the business. And at that time, we realized that only 9% of India was able to come online, and we thought like if we can come up with a product which is sub 15,000 and can help lot of Indian households or rather students to come online, and that's where we launched our first product. We launched a complete full-fledged AIO just in 7 days, priced it at 14,000 rupees. We listed it on Amazon, and I mean to our own surprise, within like 7 days we were the best sellers there, right? Leaving past the biggies in the company, and that's how pretty much the company started. Last 3 years has been like pretty rewarding. As you can see, like we have been clocking a 60% CAGR on, right? I mean, first year we did 10 CR, 27 CR. Last year we ended at 45 CR. I think we have sold more than 76K units. One of the good benchmarks which we have been able to follow is that every year we are able to sell more than whatever we have sold in all of the previous years. And I think fortunately for us that trend continues. So there's a huge demand that we see, and like I think we are at a fortunate place to be able to cater to that. Team size, literally as I said, in 2020 we started with 5 folks, 2000 SFT flat, few lakhs in our pocket, right? So today, I mean these numbers are from March, right? So today we have a team size of 500 folks. So we have more than 50,000 SFT of space, refurbishing center based out of Bangalore. Other key metrics, I mean, which we very keenly, monitor, because we understand. See, we are in a space of used goods, right? And India in general is a very trust deficit country, right? So we were very clear that whatever we do, the quality has to be our first criteria, and that's something which we have been very laser focused right from the day one. And some of the metrics, as like what is our customer feedback, overall rating. So we have 95% plus rating on Amazon. We have 4.5 plus rating. And these are the ratings we are like very proud of, in the sense because we can compare these ratings with even the new products, right? So that's probably where even the name came, New Jaisa, because we wanted to share with our team, our customers at those ethos, that we are benchmarking ourselves against a new product. I mean, I think we are lucky enough to maintain a reasonably healthy PAT margin, as you can see there, and a reasonably good ROE for our investors. Quickly moving on. These are the various, the product lines, as I told you, which we operate in. Key things, I mean, if you compare our products against the new product, right? So what is the value that the customer gets? Of course, I mean, it comes at a very significant discount as against the new product, right? So our products are largely at a 30 to 40% price point as compared to the new product. For us, what is more important is what's given at the end of the bottom of the slide, right? So there are like 4 key USPs of the customer promise that we make. That you will get a scratchless unit guarantee. Each and every product that we sell in India, those are sold with a 1 year of warranty. So the whole idea is to benchmark it against the new. So if you buy a new laptop, you get a 1 year warranty. If you buy our laptop, you still get a 1 year warranty, right? And to further back our quality promise, we give even customers a 100% lifetime buyback guarantee. So any point of time, if you want to sell it back to us, we are more than happy to buy it back. Moving on, right? So how does the supply chain, of this refurbished world looks like, right? So before I go there, I think I just want to like call out couple of things, right? So there are 2 key challenges, right? And this is being followed, it's across, especially in India, right? On one hand, you have e-waste generation. So in India, in a year alone, we generate 13 lakh tons of e-waste, right? I mean, just to give a sense of that, you can pretty much make 500 Statue of Unity out of the e-waste that is getting generated in India, right? That's a problem on one side. And on the other side, still the PC penetration or the laptop or IT asset penetration is at 13% at a household level. What does that mean? That still in India, there are 18 crore households who do not have a laptop or a PC and hence can get connected to the internet world, right? So we feel that we are like bridging that gap by playing our role in the middle. How does the supply chain looks like? So we are typically a B2B2C company. Largely, most of our assets come from corporates, right? And then we have our own refurbishing center, as I said, where we do an end-to-end refurbishing of these assets, and then they are typically sold to the end customers. We have been very clear right from the start that we want to be an end-use company, in the sense that we don't want to go to the reselling market and so on and so forth, but control the customer experience. These customers could be SMEs, they are a very large segment for us, right? These customers could be retail customers, professionals who are looking for these kind of assets, and of course students as such. This I think the way we look at it is not like we are innovating something new, right? I mean, there has been a used IT asset market across the world for a very long time. The way we look at it is that we are converting an unorganized sector into an organized sector and providing quality products as such, right? So the way we look at, I mean, if you look at like a historical supply chain, there will be 6 to 7 typical players involved in this, and also there is no guarantee to the quality, and that's where we come into the picture. We control the supply chain across, right from the supplier, that's the corporates, to the end users, and the idea is to deliver quality products to them. So as I mentioned, our sourcing strategy right now, 20% of our assets are directly coming from the corporates, 80% comes from the recyclers, which in turn have relationships with the corporates. As we continue to grow, we are heavily investing even in terms of like our IT infrastructure, is to provide a platform that adds more value to the corporates in terms of their e-waste management, data security, transparency, and so on and so forth. And hence, like we strongly believe that a lot of corporates, right, would prefer to operate or like work with an organization who can add these values to them. This is how our process looks like. Sorry. So we feel our operations is what our key moat is. It's very different when you're working in a refurbishing industry versus a manufacturing industry, because a lot of the concepts of the manufacturing do not really translate into refurbishing, right? And that's where a lot of technology has to be used to take those decisions. There are like various decisions of what you need to do with each unit, right? So we have built our own proprietary rule engines, we have built our own ERP, right? So the moment a unit comes to us, have a fully automated QC system where 55 checkpoints of a laptop, what is working, what is not working are taken, right? And across the lot, this rule engine runs, which basically for each SKU or unit we take, we did a calculation that we have to go through a 1.2 million decision points to really figure out that do we need to repair the particular part, do we need to triage, or do we need to write off that particular aspect. Other key thing which I want to like highlight is we have invested heavily in terms of building capability to repair the components. So as of today, we have capability to repair 80% of the various components that are used in a laptop or a desktop. That includes your display, your CPU, your keyboard. If you give me a broken laptop with body parts, we have the capability to even repair that and put it to a good reuse. From the investor's perspective, it adds a lot in terms of the gross margins that which we can save, because the more we repair, right? And this is one of the key matrices as a business which we track, which we call it as a repair to replace ratio, right? And progressively we have been improving on the same. These are like few glimpses of our facility in Bangalore. This is our old facility. We have just added another 35,000 SFT of facility in Bangalore. We have, in which we have tried to like get a lot more state of the art facility. We have a 5,000 SFT of clean room to do display repairs that has a capacity to refurbish almost 5,000 laptops on a daily basis. I'll skip this. Quick introduction to team. As you can see, I'm Vishesh. I have around 22 years of experience, graduated from IIT Bombay in year 2000. I've been more or less a techie guy. I've worked with American Express, HSBC, mostly on the tech side, built some greenfield projects for them. 2009-10 did my MBA from IMCAL, was with Google for 6-7 years. Worked on their customer experience side, that was on the operation aspect. And I think it gave me like a good bouquet of looking into the various functions. I worked on the technology side, sales side, operations in Google. And 2017-18 is when I thought of, start my entrepreneur journey. Very happy and glad to be like very ably supported by my co-founder, Mr. Mukunda. He comes with a very rich 30 years of experience, especially in the hardware industry. He has worked with the likes of Dell, Lenovo, Regenesis. These are like pretty well-known names in the hardware industry. Sharad, he's my IMCAL colleague. He has joined us as a chief strategy and marketing officer. And Mr. Bhaskar is there. So as you can see, it's like it's a bunch of grey folks, right? But we are very happy in terms of the kind of quality that we are able to bring on board in terms of senior leadership as such. To give a quick flavor how the journey has been for us, year 2020, as I said, started really small. One of the things that I want to call out here is we measure our success in a way, it's a Diwali season. This is the most critical season for us. First Diwali, as you can see on the screen, we did around 1,500 units. Fast forward to year 23, we ended at around 5,600 units. And we do hope, we can continue with the kind of the progress that we are seeing as such. Quickly moving on, this must be a question in a lot of people's mind, right? So if you look at the market size, it's a very large market, right? We are talking about a $2.5 billion of refurbished electronics market just in India, and we're just talking about the IT assets, right? So no matter from which side you look at, corporates, 60 lakh units gets disposed by corporates on a yearly basis. We have 18 crore household and many more SMEs that has need of these assets. So in interest of time, I'll quickly, and they are like very innovative products that we can come up. Lot of relationships have already started there. We also want to ensure that we are able to build a brand, because it's very important to build a brand on which the customer trust can be built to really expand this category as such. And definitely as we continue to grow, I think our philosophy has always been go deep and then go wide, right? So we have taken one product line. We are making sure we go deep in terms of competency and scale, be it national or international. And then, of course, once we have built these competencies, we will look at other product lines in terms of how we can scale those. I'll probably skip those, I know. And in terms of financial numbers, we have already discussed that. I think strong top line growth and the bottom line growth, which we are seeing. And I will skip because most of these numbers are readily available. Yeah, as I said, I mean, we just got listed on 5th of October. We were lucky enough, we got a 51% premium, and it's a new journey. I mean, let's we hope for the best. All right, thank you.
अरे सब लोग माइक निकालो जेब से.
Vishesh, a very good presentation. This is from one of the slides. You mentioned 3D printing currently outsourced. Very interesting that for the size of the company and just 3 years into the business, you're already thinking of how to reduce cost. So I want to understand that part of the thought process. What kind of steps you're taking to ensure that this being a business where margins are typically cutthroat, and you have to really squeeze out every bit of the margin. So what are the steps that you've taken? Just elaborate one or two for us to understand the thinking.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a very valid point. I think that when we started the company, we were very clear that we have to do a lot of value addition, right? I mean, not only from the cost perspective, but also from the end product that we can deliver. And in terms of managing the margins, I think there are 3 or 4 key factors that play in. One, definitely on the supply side, the nearer you are to the source of the supply, the better margins you can retain, and that's where we were very clear that we want to be full stack, right? And second key important, as you rightly mentioned, is on your operational capability, right? So most of what we realize is each and every part of these IT assets, the cost of them is almost equals to your net margin. So each of those parts, the more capability you build in-house to repair, right, adds significantly to your margins as such, right? Just to give you an example, I mean, as you mentioned, like 3D printing, we came up with that idea when we realized that many of the models, will have the similar kind of an issue happening at the same place, right? And of course, we are not a scaled manufacturing, but we found that additive manufacturing, which is your 3D printing, is the right solution for us, right? So we are using technologies like that, to repair body parts, metal components. Another aspect, for example, display. That's the costliest part in that, right? And there are 7 to 8 layers in that. I would say, I would rather argue that probably we are among the top 2-3 companies in India who have that level of capability to repair those components. And in terms of margins, I mean, there's a significant difference in terms of if you buy a new one versus if we are able to repair these components, right? So we have capability to even repair things like RAM, hard disk, and each one of them we all know in market like how we have built like capability to refurbish batteries as such, right? So the whole idea is, I mean, on one hand, yes, I mean, it leads to better margins per se. At the other end, I mean, for example, as I said, like we made a promise to the customer and then we worked backward that we'll give you a scratchless unit without any issues, which will give you a 3 year of, like a 3 hours of battery backup. And then we said that, okay, what all capabilities we need to make to be able to do that. So yes, it leads to better customer experience, but definitely, and I mean, if you look at our numbers, look at the margins in 22 and 23, right? And our repair to purchase ratio has changed accordingly. So that's directly leading to better margins as such.
Any questions? I think very good presentation.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Friends, we have celebrity investor Madhu Kelaji, please.